Now at 6, it's a common summertime problem here in Connecticut. Swimming areas closed after heavy rains. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's not frustrating. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. Those rains carried a lot of contaminants into popular swimming areas in our state. And because of that, the state had to ban swimming at several state parks. Now, that also includes Rocky Neck State Park in Niantic.
And Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is there live and has more on how some beachgoers handled the setback. Jamel.
Yeah, guys, just a few moments ago, the lifeguards actually just told everybody that they were clocking out for the day, but reminding everyone that the water still remains closed due to that contamination. A lot of these people just wanted to come here and enjoy one of the nicer days Connecticut has had in a while. And many people came and they just did a 180 as soon as they found out the news, but a lot of people still stayed and kind of just made what they could of the day.
There was plenty of seagull watching, tanning, and sandcastles being built here today at Rocky Neck State Park. There just wasn't any swimming allowed. Like many beaches across the state, Rocky Neck's water had high levels of contamination, as all that rain picked up bacteria before draining into Long Island Sound. Rachel Martin and her friends were looking forward to cooling off in the water on their only day off this week.
When we got here, there was like the giant sign, and then we saw everyone turning around. I've always gone in the water at the beach, so I was kind of disappointed when I came and I was like, oh, I can't go in the water.
Martin and her friends live in Connecticut, so it's not the biggest inconvenience for them. However, Joe Winslow and his family came from a lot farther away.
Over 100 miles from Palmer, Mass to here. We planned this day for our vacation, and we get here and find out that there's no swimming, and it's still $15 to get in, even though you can't swim.
Many who came to the beach, including Winslow, were still relieved temperatures weren't high like they were a week ago.
Well, we wanted to swim, but thank God it isn't 95 degrees out, because then it would be absolute. But, you know, this isn't too bad. It's nice and breezy down here, and there's less people here because of it. So I guess there's that.
Rocky Neck wasn't the only state park that prohibited swimming. Sherwood Island in Westport, Silver Sands in Milford, and Chatfield Hollow in Killingworth were closed as well. That means plenty of other swimming areas were open, but beachgoers like Lauren Deanna didn't want to go hunting for non-contaminated water, so they just stayed put at Rocky Neck.
We didn't really want to drive anywhere else. It's both our days off, so we just wanted to enjoy what we could. At least tan a little bit and maybe just use the showers if we have to.
Now, the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is testing these waters today, and they should have those results back by tomorrow. So we should know well soon enough if those contamination levels are back down to a normal level for people to return and getting back in the water again. But for now in Niantic, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Jamel. And speaking of swimming, another popular spot also isn't ready to welcome back swimmers just yet, and that's the Connecticut River.
Yeah, same problem. Storm runoff has raised bacteria levels and washed pollutants into the water, prompting a warning to avoid direct contact for now. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson has what you need to know before heading to the river.
After several days of heavy rainfall, several Connecticut beaches closed due to high levels of bacteria in the runoff water. But now officials are calling for caution surrounding one of Connecticut's main waterways. It's the first dry day for Connecticut since Saturday, and locals are bursting at the seams to get out and enjoy the sun. However, officials are asking swimmers to hold off a few more days before diving into the Connecticut River.
It's important to avoid contacting the water directly after a storm.
The Connecticut Department of Energy and Environment Protection found high levels of bacteria, pollutants, metals, sediment, and oil in the Connecticut River coming from the runoff water from this week's storms.
A cityscape is going to be a lot, more risky with respect to stormwater quality than, for instance, the picture behind me. Which, that natural environment would do a much better job filtering.
Graham Stevens, who works for DEEP, told us cities near the river like Middletown and Glastonbury will see more contaminated water as the cement streets leave little room for filtering the rainwater.
Even in the other part over there is like little sandy, but you can see a lot of oil in the water and stuff like that, so I won't get in the water.
However, this is not the first time the Connecticut River has been under close eye.
Been rumors for years about it. Like, a lot of stuff comes down.
Fisherman Benny Arizari told us the river's relationship with wastewater treatment plants has prevented him from swimming in the river because when rainwater overflows systems, waste has nowhere else to go.
Because although it's raining and we're talking about sewer, there can be stormwater that comes into the sewer system as well, and that can overwhelm the system.
The town of West Springfield did confirm that 6.1 million gallons of untreated wastewater were released into the river and other rivers last week following the storms on June 30th. Officials say that we can expect the water conditions to get better as we move throughout the week as the river flow works to dilute the pollutants in the water. In Middletown, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
Victoria, thank you. And of course, it is now the calm after the storm. The sun is back out. That means it's also getting warmer. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is standing by with the first check of the forecast. Rach?
Yeah, brighter and warmer than it has been the last couple of days, although the bar was set pretty low. We got that much needed soaking rain, and now we can enjoy that sunshine. 84 in Hartford, 79 the current temperature for the New Haven area, cooler at the beaches with a sea breeze that's kicked in. And we've had pretty low humidity, at least to start off the day, but it's already starting to tick up a little bit, and that'll be the case as we head into the day tomorrow, eventually feeling tropical by this time tomorrow evening. So it's not going to be as cool tonight as it was last night into this morning. Instead of overnight lows in the 50s, we'll see overnight low temperatures in the 60s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, mid 80s for a high temperature in Wallingford and the New Haven area, but it's a bit cooler in southeastern Connecticut along the shoreline, near 80 for Mystic and Stonington, 85 in Montville, and close to 90 in Windsor with the chance for an isolated afternoon storm. We'll talk about that storm chance and the weekend forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. We want to take you now live to Milford, where people are gathering to mark a major moment in American history. We've talked a lot about America's 250th birthday, but today actually marks 250 years since the Declaration of Independence was first read aloud to the public. And people in communities nationwide are gathering to read it together to honor the ideals that continue to honor our nation.
Tonight, the city of New Haven is reporting record low crime rates. This year, the city went nearly 7 months without a homicide, which is the longest stretch of time the city has gone without a homicide since 1988. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in New Haven with a breakdown of the city's crime stats and what the police department and city say they still need to work on.
Overall crime in the city is down by nearly 10%, but sexual assault cases are up by nearly 300% in comparison to last year. The department says the number may sound alarming, but is a step in the right direction.
The numbers are increasing, but we should look at that in a positive light.
Sergeant Sherelle Carr, who oversees the city's sexual assault unit, says these numbers mean more victims are coming forward.
People are more willing to come in and actually report these cases to us.
So far this year, the city has seen 19 reported sexual assault cases, a significant jump in comparison to 5 cases around this time last year. David Zanelli, the New Haven police chief, says these cases can be complicated to prosecute if the victim doesn't come forward.
We know that these are not stranger rapes, and a lot of these facts sometimes rely on the comfortability of the victim to come forward and to report it.
Zanelli says in these cases and many others, they depend on the public to come forward, and said in recent years they've seen more communication and collaboration coming from the community. He credits initiatives like the return of both walking and bike beats in the city.
And this is a way of not only interacting and preventing crime, but it's also building trust and increasing visibility.
Homicides, non-fatal shooting victims, and confirmed gunfire incidents are all down in comparison to last year. Zanelli says he and the department are motivated to continue their efforts.
So the trends right now are very encouraging, but we're not celebrating too early.
The chief, along with New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker, says they still have a lot more work to do in keeping the city safe and are gearing more of their efforts towards preventing violent crime through community engagement. In New Haven, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
In Stamford, a construction worker was rescued from inside a water tank. It happened yesterday afternoon at a large warehouse on Fairfield Avenue that is currently under construction. The Stamford Fire Department said the man was found injured at the bottom of the empty tank, and they say crews used a rope haul system to free the worker in less than 30 minutes. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. A Midtown Manhattan high-rise is being stabilized by crews after officials found buckled columns and sagging floors. The building is being converted into luxury apartments now. Anna Eliopoulos brings us an update on the building's condition.
Emergency workers working through the night, installing temporary shoring and beams inside the Midtown Manhattan building that was at risk of collapsing. The 37-story former office building is being converted into apartments, and on Tuesday, it was showing signs of structural damage.
I want to confirm for all New Yorkers that there has been no additional movement of the structure since yesterday morning. This continues to be monitored as that emergency work is underway.
Inside the building, the FDNY found columns supporting the high-rise had buckled, and beams had started to bend and deflect from the weight of added floors. The commissioner of the Departments of Buildings says workers have gone floor by floor to assess the damage and stabilize the situation.
We are not only at a point where emergency struts or jacks are in place to hold up and stabilize where the weak points are, but they are also installing new steel as another emergency intervention.
A third-party engineer has been brought in to verify and act as another set of eyes on the project, and the mayor promised a full investigation.
As soon as this emergency work is concluded, DOB is going to be conducting a rigorous assessment and ensuring that the plans and the site are fully compliant with all codes before any non-emergency work moves forward.
So far, no injuries have been reported, and some people have been able to return to nearby buildings after evacuation orders.
President Donald Trump has been ordered to pay E. Jean Carroll $5.8 million after a jury ruled that Trump sexually abused and defamed her. A federal judge made that ruling today. It comes after the jury found that Trump attacked Carroll back in 1996 in a department store dressing room and defamed her after she publicly spoke about it in her book released in 2019. Trump has denied the allegations, and his lawyers immediately filed an appeal to stop the payment.
A Ledyard man was sentenced to 10 years in prison today for possession of child pornography. The state's attorney's office said Jason Gibson had more than 18,000 images and 1,400 videos depicting child sex abuse on a hard drive. We're told Gibson has had prior convictions dating back to 2020. On top of his 10-year sentence, Gibson will also face 20 years of supervised release.
Right now, the Ansonia Police Department needs your help after a man suffered a gunshot wound in the area of Liberty Street yesterday. Police say that man admitted himself to the hospital Tuesday around 5 p.m. At this time, police have not released his condition, but detectives say following that incident, they did obtain a search warrant at a nearby home to gather evidence. Officials said it does appear to be an isolated incident. If you have any information that can help with the investigation, please contact the Ansonia Police Department.